فيا أيها القاري به متمسكا مجلا له في كل حال مبجلا. بسم الله، الحمد لله، الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله ورحمة الله وبركاته. Great to have you with us in this Tajweed video presentation. We are at the continuation of the Makhraj al-Halq, and we have talked last time that there are common mistakes are by the people who try to recite the Quran without any background of qira'ah or background with the mashayikh. They have sat with the mashayikh to recite and they have been corrected. So these common mistakes are very well known by the Qur'an, not only at this century but at the old, even in the time of Imam al-Khaqani, which is the 3rd century, and Imam al-Safaqusi, al-Nuri al-Safaqusi, who have wrote a book about these common mistakes in the 11th century in Tunisia. So today, inshallah, we are going to talk about, continue about the Hamza, and the common mistake about the Hamza in this example of the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَلَمْ يُؤْتَ سَعَةً مِّنَ الْمَالِ. So when we read the Hamza, because our topic is about the Hamza, the makhraj of the Hamza, people may try, when they try to recite, to try to make it beautiful by doing the qalqala. And to avoid the qalqala in tajweed is whenever we recite any letter that does not have qalqala. As you know, the qalqala has 5 letters, which we are going to study later on, inshallah, in the coming podcasts after the makharij in the sifat. The letters are 5: qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal. When it is second, qutbu, jadin. So when we read walam yu'ta, so try to walam yu'ta sa'atan min al-mal. Walam yu'ta, walam, this is qalqala. Yu'a, this is qalqala. So it's supposed to be there shidda, which is giving a little bit of time. The letter of Hamza, it's slightly strong, so it should be given a little bit of time in it by saying walam yu'ta sa'atan min al-mal. Walam yu'ta sa'atan min al-mal. So instead of saying walam yu'ta sa'atan min al-mal, so this is the to avoid the qalqala in the letter and that echoing and vibration in the letter of the Hamza, especially when it is sakin. The other example is wallahu yu'ti mulkahu. This is another at the end of the ayah, Wallahu yu'ti mulkahu man yasha, and then at the end is mu'minin. So yu'ti, Wallahu yu'ti mulkahu man yasha. At the end, in kuntum mu'minin, instead of mu'minin, yu'ti. That is the common mistake. So in this case, whenever the Hamza comes with the sukun, try to avoid making that vibration of the echoing of the qalqala and try to give it slightly a little bit of time and pronounce it from the throat, and which is the aqsa al-halq, which is the farthest distance from the mouth. Move to the next letter. We said that the letters of makhraj al-halq, which is the point of articulation of the throat, had 6 letters. The 2 which we try to mention at the beginning are aqsa al-halq, the farthest distance of the from the mouth and from the front of the mouth, and that is al-hamza, which we had before in the previous video, and this one it's called al-ha, harful ha. The ulama say that this harful ha, the letter of ha, it is harfun khafi. In Arabic language, the word khafi means hidden, but metaphorically this is not hidden. This is not the literal meaning here, but it means that it has all the qualities of weakness. The qualities of weakness where we're going to see after the presentation of the makharij later on in the coming weeks, inshallah. When we finish, we are going to see the qualities. The qualities, the ulama have divided them into parts of weakness and parts of strength, and then something it's called the tawassut al-bayniyya in the middle. Now, harful ha is one of the letters that has all the weak qualities. So, which means by itself it does not have that strength to be audible. So we need to give it a little bit of time. The air has to be there. The little bit of try to bring it as much as you can. We pronounce it audibly so the people can hear it. Excuse me. But the people, they try to make that ha audible and nicely pronounced, but they have some common mistakes in that. And I give you this example in the Quran al-Karim, which is in Surah Al-Fatiha. So among them is Ihdina as-sirata. So have a look at the ha here. It's a second letter. It has a sukoon. It is from makhraj al-halq, which is next to the hamza. So when the people try to pronounce it and give it strength because it's weak, otherwise it becomes, if it's weak and weaker and weaker, you make it weaker, it becomes idina. So what do? We give it time and we give it air, ihdina. So if we try to give it more strength, what will happen? Ihdina. And that is really a wrong and a common mistake by saying, precising and giving more strength to the ha, which it doesn't deserve it. Ihdina, that is wrong. So by giving slightly air and slightly time, Ihdina as-sirata. And this is one. The second one is whenever the ha, because of its weakness, comes in between two letters that are strong and have the qualities of strength, such as qaf and ra. So how do we say it? We have to be careful not to make it so sounding similar to ra and qaf. So if you read فَزَادُوهُمْ رَهَقًا, ra, qa, but in between ha, rahaqa. The other example also in Surah لم يكن الذين كفروا صحفا مطهرة. مطا is the mufakham, which is full mouth. Ra is strong, full mouth. But the ha is empty mouth. مطهرة. مطهرة. The other example is اتقوا الله حق تقاته. And then of course this is another ayah in Surah Qaf. اتقوا الله حق. Ha, he's the ha here, and the ha. Now, whenever the ha comes next to one of its neighbors, which is the ha, it will be very difficult for the person to pronounce the ha, because it is easy to pronounce the ha than to pronounce the ha. The reason the ha, it is difficult because it is far away from the mouth. So when you pronounce the lam, you are close to the makhraj of the mouth, which is at the front, and then you would not go that far. It will be difficult then to make that exercise and effort to pronounce the ha, rather because of the ha next to it, so you will drop it. So instead, اتقوا الله حق, اتقوا الله حق, ha. So it's a little bit of no ease is there. There is no ease, and that's why it will be difficult for some people who are not trained, who have not exercised their throat for that purpose. اتقوا الله حق تقاته. And similarly here, the ha before the ha, فسبحه. So do not say فسبحه or فسبحه. سبحه. So there is two ha there instead of فسبحه. In Surah Tabbat Yada, في جيدها حبل من مسد. جيدها ح. جيدها ح. Another example in the Quran also related to the ha and also to the hamza. So the difficulty that I have seen in my teaching, that a lot of people try to make that hamza change into the letter that is before. So أَلَّن يَبْعَثَ اللَّهُ وَحَدًا. اللَّهُ Allahu ahada. Other example which is common, saying takbiratul tahrim or takbiratul ihram, Allahu Akbar. So changing the hamza into waw because it is close to the dhamma. So waw it is easy. And because the ha is preceded and both of them are from the same makhraj. Ha and the hamza from the same position, from the same point of articulation, and that's why it drops down. أَلَّن يَبْعَثَ اللَّهُ أَحَدًا يَبْعَثَ اللَّهُ هُ أَلَّن يَبْعَثَ اللَّهُ أَحَدًا قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Instead, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Or Allahu Akbar, you would say Allahu Akbar. وَاسْتَغْفِرْ. This is another hard one to stop at the ha. وَاسْتَغْفِرْ. Pronounce the ha. Instead of saying وَاسْتَغْفِرْ, وَاسْتَغْفِرْ, وَاسْتَغْفِرْ. Pronounce the ha at the end. Another example in the Quran also where the common mistakes in letter ha is when the letter ha comes in two different words, ha kasra and ha dhamma. So you would say ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هو فيه هو فيه هدى فيه هدى. So فيه هدى فيه هدى. So mix the ha with the sukun. فيه هدى فيه هدى. The same level, the same time you give for the ha with the kasra is the same as you give it for the dhamma. So he, who. Instead of saying فيه هدى فيه هدى, you do the ikhtilas and you absorb and swallow the ha with the kasra and you just pronounce the ha with the dhamma. Now, this is example one. The example two are the two in the bottom, not the one in the middle. I'll talk to later on, inshallah. But this one is the same as this one, but they come in one word. He. But they are similar letter. Who. Okay? So have a look at this. وَيُلْهِهِ وَيُلْهِهِمُ جِبَاهُهُمْ جِبَاهُهُمْ. So the common mistake is to say وَيُلْهِهِمُ الْأَمَلُ وَيُلْهِهِمُ الْأَمَلُ. Now, by going, when you go fast, when you read fast, وَيُلْهِهِمُ الْأَمَلُ, you are taking the time of the second letter. وَيُلْهِهِمُ الْأَمَلُ. وَيُلْهِهِ, he is the same level. Similarly here, who, جباههم. Some say جباههم, 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 جباههم. Makes the idgham as if it is, this is sukun. But جباههم وجنوبهم ويلههم الأمل. Now, the one in the middle, why I brought it here is you have to watch and observe the movement of your lips, because Arabic language, all the movements of the lips are built into short vowels, small harakat and big harakat, which is the long vowels of the letters of mad. So if you would say ma, mu, mi, my lips are moving into either sidewise by saying fatha, ma, and that's fatha means open in Arabic. Dhamma means bring together forward, mu. So if I say the word in the Quran, muhtadun or muhtadin, then what happens? The meme saying mu. Not to keep the lips forward at the same level for the ha. So if you say muhtadin, you feel that your lips are in the ha are going in forward towards the dhamma. But what do? You bring it back sidewise normally. So instead of saying muhtadin, you would say muhtadin. As you say you find your lips are going sidewise. But if you say who, then the position of the lips are saying to you, say who, don't say So muhtadin, bring your lips back for but for mu, the lips have to be forward. Jazakumullahu khairan for listening to this time. So inshallah I see you in the next episode where we are going to talk about the common mistakes of other letters of the ha and the kha and the ain حاء عين أن غين أن خاء. وبارك الله فيكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
هنيئا مريئا والداك عليهما ملابس أنوار من التاج والحلى.